everybody. Welcome to the Magic of Emerald live with Gemology Jen. I'm Gemology Jen. So we're towards the end of the month of May. So I hope all of you May babies are having a wonderful birthday and celebrating in this beautiful spring weather. All the trees are getting greener and all the flowers are coming out. Beautiful, beautiful weather we're having. So I hope you're out enjoying everything. So far we talked about emerald's color meaning and the physical, emotional, and spiritual powers of emerald that can benefit you in your daily life. And there were so many benefits, right? So if you didn't catch that, go back and watch the other recordings. And now let's talk about the intrinsic qualities of the precious gemstone emerald that make it valuable to you. It is so important to understand these quality values when looking for and buying an emerald so that you can choose the right one for you and you don't get ripped off. Right, so how many times have you gone into a jewelry store and you didn't know what you were looking at, you didn't know if you were paying the right price, getting the right value, getting the nicest stone that you can get, so you want to be more knowledgeable and not shop blind. And that's what I'm here for, to help you with. You're going to want to get in the know, and that's why we're going to talk about the quality values of emerald today so that you can learn all about it. So there's so many tips, tricks, so much value. So let's get started. Who here wants to learn what to look for when buying an emerald or emerald jewelry, right? Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. That's why you're here today. So you may be wondering what the best color to look for is, how included is too included, how much should I be paying? So I'll be answering all of these questions today. So let's get to it. So the first value factor is color, and color is the most important value when it comes to colored stones, because that is the reason why we buy colored gemstones, is for its color. So we talked about how beautiful emerald color is, how beneficial the emerald color is, and now we're going to talk about the money value of emerald, right? Because money's green. So we're going to be talking about that green color. So emeralds range from yellow green to a blue green and must be medium or darker in tone to be considered an emerald. Any kind of deviation from that, if it's lighter or less green, it will not be considered an emerald. The most expensive emeralds are bluish green to pure green with a vivid color saturation. I actually wore my emerald to show you guys. I don't know if I can get it off. So this is the color that you want to look for. It's like a slightly bluish green, medium tone. You can see that it has a life to it, has some brilliance to it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So you want that kind of vivid green that really shows off that bluish green or that green color, because that will be the nicest quality of emerald. Next is clarity. So how included should your emerald stone be? Well, when it comes to clarity, you need to understand that emeralds are different from the other varieties of beryl, like aquamarine. So aquamarine is a gemstone that is usually inclusion free, so it has no inclusions. But for emerald, it falls into type 3, which means that they are almost always included. Since inclusions are typical, they're widely accepted in emeralds, so you'll usually see inclusions inside an emerald gemstone. But the more it affects the transparency, the lower the value will be. So if you see a nice color emerald, but there are so many inclusions that it looks almost opaque, so you can't see through it, no light can go through it, then it's considered more commercial quality and really decreases the value. So the more expensive emeralds will have little to no inclusions, which is considered very rare. So if you find one that has very little inclusions, it's very hard to find and will be much more expensive. And if you see an emerald with many inclusions, that's normal, but you still want to see life or brilliance and light when you look at the stone, right? You don't want to see so many inclusions that it looks very dull. You know, you really want to see some brilliance to it, some dancing of color inside the gemstone. Also, you want to be careful that the inclusions are completely inside the stone and not break the surface, because sometimes there's surface reaching inclusions which can look like a crack on the surface, or maybe chip, or maybe a cavity which looks like somebody bit an apple, so bit a chunk out. So a tip is to look at your emerald gemstone under a reflected light, so let the light bounce off of the surface. And if you see a line or a hole or a chip or something like that, you want to avoid that stone, because not only isn't it worth as much, but it also will have durability problems and can chip easier when you wear it, because if it's already chipped, guess what? You know, it's going to chip some more. So the next quality factor we're going to talk about is the cut. So emeralds are most commonly cut into emerald cut. Surprise, surprise. But, of course, it can be cut into any shape you want. Round, princess, marquise, pear, heart shape, and usually they're cut to standard sizes so they can be mounted very easily into jewelry, birthstone jewelry, so to make it more affordable. But you do want to be wary of emeralds with points like marquise and pear, since emeralds can chip pretty easily. So if you like a fancy shaped emerald that has any kind of point like a pear or marquise or princess cut, something like that, make sure it is in a protective setting like a bezel. So a bezel has the metal going all around the stone, so this way if you bump your stone or anything like that, then you have metal protecting that center stone. Or if you like prong settings, then you want to look for a V-tip, so kind of looks like that on your corners, and they set the corner into the V so that it protects that corner so you can't chip it. Or if you love diamonds, you want to put a halo around that emerald center to buffer that emerald. So now you get a little bit of sparkle from the diamonds, and you get that beautiful green color, and you're all set. This way, if you bump it or something like that, then you have that diamond halo protecting that emerald center. So when it comes to cut, the main importance for the cutter is to create the most beautiful color from the rough that they're given. So this may mean that the stone, it will be cut deep and asymmetrical. So it may be a little bit bulgy. So it may have like a little bit of a muffin top, right? So maybe one end has like a little bulge and the other end not so much. This is all to enhance the color. So if you have a rough that is very light in color, they'll cut it deeper to get that color to be a little bit darker. And if the rough is a darker color, then they'll cut it shallow and maybe less faceting to lighten that color up. It's all about that face-up color. When you look at your emerald stone, whatever jewelry you're wearing, when you look at that color face-up, their goal is to get the best face-up color possible from the rough. And this is more important than the symmetry, because there's no ideal symmetry when it comes to colored stones. And it's more important than the shape. So lastly, we're going to talk about carat weight. So So emeralds come in a large range of size, from very small, which can still hold that green intensity, which is very uncommon for a lot of gemstones. So to be able to still be intense and be very small is a great quality for a colored stone. So it can come in that very small, and it can also come in very large. So sensor stones typically range from 1 carat to 5 carats. And with all else being equal, the larger the stone, the more the price per carat increases. And since emerald is considered a precious stone, remember I told you there are 3: emerald, sapphire, and ruby. Ruby. If you have a large emerald that's intensely colored, this can fetch a price higher than diamond, so an average quality diamond. So how much should you expect to pay for an emerald, right? So this is something you've all been waiting to hear. So I did some research on good to excellent quality, and here are some prices you can expect to pay for a nice emerald per carat, meaning you need to multiply this value by the carat weight. So for emeralds, a half a carat to 75 points, or 3/4 of a carat, you can expect to pay about $1,200 per carat to $3,500 per carat. So if it's a half a carat and it's $1,200, then the cost would be $600. For a 1 carat to right under a 2 carat to $199, $2,400 per carat to $7,500 per carat. And for a 3 carat to $399, you can expect to pay $4,000 per carat to $10,000 per carat. So if you have an excellent stone that's 3 carats, you can expect to pay up to $30,000 for that stone. So it all depends on how much it's oiled or treated, because almost all emeralds have some sort of treatment to improve the color, sometimes to improve the clarity. So if you have a really beautiful, rare, inclusion-free emerald, then you can expect to pay really top dollar for it. So I hope this helps you find that perfect emerald for all of you May babies, or if you want to buy a gift for somebody, or if you just love emerald like I do. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments or PM me, and I will be very happy to help you with any of these questions. Or if you want to buy an emerald, I'm here for you. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.